Greetings.
teachers and executive board members who have joined us today for LMGMUN 2021. My name is Isha Zahir and I will be serving as the Deputy Secretary General for this year's conference. We could not host the conference last year due to the novel coronavirus. However, we are back, better and bigger this year, after putting in loads of efforts for our first online edition. As suggested by our motto, Unitas Justitia Spex, we aspire to find unity, justice and hope.
On that note, let's have a look at all the committees whose agendas we are here to discuss today.
أتذكر كل شيء قاد أجمل وأحسن، بس بعد شغلة شهر يعني صار الحروب فوقنا وتعرفين الحال صار مو زين قاد وانقطع الأكل عنا وصار البرد. I want to go home because I want to go back to school. I'm scared when I'm staying here. وهم فوتونا الهواء. لا رفقاتي ولا أختي. للكل يعني مشتاق لبيتنا لجيراننا. للكل يعني مشتاق. وأكثر شي بحبه أخوي اللي مات.
teaching video that was.
We hope that through diplomacy, debate, and mutual agreements, we can find the best solutions to the aforementioned agendas and crises at hand. I would now like to call upon the stage Mrs. Arshita Das, our Lady Principal, the person who encourages us to be the finest version of ourselves, the one who provides us with the pedestal to voice our opinions and share our views on global affairs. Ma'am, we would love to have a few words from you.
Today, it is with immense pride that I welcome each one of you to the 6th and for the very first time, the online session of the Martiniere Girls Modern United Nations 2021. We at Martiniere Girls College strive to provide a holistic learning environment to our students, giving equal importance to academics and co-curricular activities. Model United Nations is an exceptional activity to hone the skills of the students, not only to produce future diplomats, but to create a generation of writers, speakers, and fierce world leaders. It provides for great dialogue and motivates students to learn and familiarize themselves with pressing world issues while becoming more concerned citizens in this era of globalization, where being aware is of most importance. Martiniere Girls College has been organizing its Model United Nations Conference since 2014, and ever since its inception, we have seen phenomenal delegates from around the world who raise the bar of discussion with every passing year. We are therefore delighted to host this prestigious event with schools joining us not just at the national level, but at the international level. Once again, this time. I would like to extend my deepest sense of gratitude to the principals of these institutions for accepting our invitation and sending the participants, therefore enabling us to host a conference of such a high stature. Our heartfelt thanks to the chief guest for this opening ceremony, Mrs. Pozard, who is gracing this event all the way from Canada. Ma'am has sent us a video which is indeed inspirational, and I'm sure each one of you is going to learn from her words, and we are lucky to have her join us and give us her time. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for sharing these very meaningful experiences of yours to make this conference even richer for every participant. I would also like to thank our MUN coordinators, Mrs. Amli and Mrs. Tagore, who have worked extremely hard over the years, along with our able student body, to make LMGMUN one of the most prestigious conferences of the country. Consistent to the motto of unity, justice, and hope, LMGMUN strives to continue to grow and achieve even greater heights. As we begin with our 6th conference, we hope that every delegate will have an experience that will enrich their grasp over foreign affairs and learn the skill of debating. I wish all the delegates present here the very best of luck for the upcoming days, and I hope that each one of you will learn and take away memories that will be long-lasting and, in fact, lifelong. We talk of leaders of tomorrow, but you are the leaders of today. All of you represent the very best of your institutions, and therefore you are leaders in your own right. To each one of you, keep inspiring and keep leading. The world needs each one of you. Thank you.
Today, we have with us Mrs. Nilofer Posand. Ma'am has worked with the UNICEF for nearly 20 years, spending time in Iran and Afghanistan. Ma'am began as a national staff member in Iran. While still in Iran, she held the position of Gender and Education Officer. She then became an international staff member and went to Afghanistan, eventually becoming a child protection officer. Ma'am was also the program coordinator in Tajikistan, where her main responsibility was to oversee the effectiveness and efficiency of the UNICEF programs in that country. During this time, Ma'am has experienced considerable challenges. She has worked in extremely intense and difficult situations, doing so in conditions where working women confront many additional difficulties. Ma'am, it is our honor to have you with us today.
Good morning and greetings from snowy Toronto in Canada. Behind me, behind this windows, actually there is snow covered all over and it looks quite beautiful. I am honored to be invited to this very special occasion. I have very good memories of attending similar events in person in Lucknow some 6 years back when I was posted to your amazing city and state as the head of UNICEF in Uttar Pradesh. I have always enjoyed immensely interacting with La Martiniere principals, teachers, students, and parents of students, some who were and are my colleagues. I will always remember fondly your amazing former principal, Madame Farida Abraham. And of course, I'm certain your current principal, Madame Ashrita Das, is also doing a great job leading the school, especially in these challenging times of the pandemic. We had some lovely times together, including when we hosted a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador in your school, Karina Kapoor. Some of you might remember, though perhaps all those who were there then have graduated by now. It is wonderful that you will be engaging with the Model United Nations at this critical time in our lives, a time when the world has been shaken by the pandemic and continues to be challenged by climate change and continued inequality and injustice, including that faced by millions of refugees and those displaced from their own homelands and countries. But we also know that the flag of human creativity and the struggle for equality and social justice continues to be raised high by millions around the world, including in India, including in Lucknow, including in your school. The pandemic and climate change have shown us that the world is interdependent and interconnected, and we all need each other. And as they say, when a butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil, there will be a tornado at the other end of the world. Or as the Persian poet Saadi has said, we are all one body, and if one part of that body hurts, the whole body hurts. Yes, we now know better than ever that the world needs multilateralism. It needs the governments of the world to work together. It needs the United Nations and national and international non-governmental organizations and civil society organizations to work together with artists, athletes, scientists, media, academics, and the private sector to be able to holistically and multi-sectorally and sustainably address the complex challenges we all face and feel. The United Nations, with its many different organizations and agencies, including UNICEF that I worked with for over 30 years, and UN Women and the World Health Organization that has been so important during the pandemic, and UNESCO that focuses on education, science and culture, and others, are in a position to tap into the human, scientific, cultural, financial, and political resources of this world and direct them in the direction of meeting the Sustainable Development Goals. The 17 goals that universally have been agreed to and which will lead us by 2030 to address many of the social issues that are so important for the survival of us all. And not only survival, but thriving and living in a more just world. The pandemic, of course, has added to many of these challenges, and it has made achieving the SDGs by 2030 even more challenging. In all this scenario, the rights of girls and women, especially the rights of marginalized girls and women, is key. And societies and communities that are able to fulfill the human rights of all their girls and women are able to unleash their amazing potential for their own well-being and self-realization, as well as the progress of society as a whole. India is home and has been home to some of the most amazing women in history, both in its ancient history as well as its struggle against British colonialism and its contemporary struggles for social justice and equality. I am confident that you each will contribute to this historical struggle and effort, and each in your own way make a difference in your families, communities, India, and the world. There is no limit to what you can do. I know that the past 2 years with the pandemic have been particularly challenging for all, including each of you and your families probably. And you have faced challenges with your education and having to spend so much more time online, at home, and being restricted in your in-person interactions and sharing. But I am sure that La Martiniere, with the support of your parents and yourselves, has been able to minimize the damage and make the best of these times too. And surely we have also learned a lot through these challenges, including that the world is more interconnected than we ever thought, that a virus here can travel there, and we need each other to address these issues. The role of technology, being able to talk to you online from Toronto now, appreciating each other even more when we felt lonely in certain moments of the pandemic, thinking about the world and social justice, including vaccine equity and climate justice in a different way, and also being more self-aware with regards to our own mental health and the mental health of others. As they say, first we have to take care of ourselves, love ourselves before we can reach out to others. I have had and have still some amazing Indian female students here at University in Canada. And I see how rich some of their insights are and what wonderful contributions they are making through their academic work here. Perhaps some of you will decide to study in Canada in the future. And if you do, please let me know, and I would love to meet you. So I wish you fun, excitement, learning, sharing, passion, commitment, understanding, cooperation, and teamwork in your model UN exercise this year, albeit it being online. And I look forward to hearing how it went. And I ask Madame Ashwita to share with me. And I wish you each and all success in your studies and later in your careers and lives, and hope you will be bold, courageous, break barriers, impact change, and be principled and kind individuals toward yourself, your loved ones, community, and the world at large. You are needed. Hopefully some of you will join the UN as committed and path-breaking leaders. There are some from Lucknow, Madame Farah Osmani, who's a senior official in the UN Fund for Family Development, UNFPA, and returns regularly to Lucknow, is one such person. And if you decide to do something completely different, That is fine as well, as long as you love it and it does not harm you or others. Thank you again for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak to you and be with you, even for a brief few minutes, and even if remotely so. Viva or long live La Martiniere. Viva the human rights of girls and women. Viva the UN and its mandate for human rights and human development. Thank you so much.
I would now like to call upon the stage the teacher who has guided us continuously, who has been a constant support through the ups and downs of the special journey of LMGMUN, which all of us hold close to our hearts. Mrs. Anjana Ambli, without whom this conference would have been a mere dream, far, far beyond our reach.
Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to the heads of the institutions, the staff members, the faculty advisors, the executive board members, and our dear delegates. Firstly, I would like to appreciate all the young boys and girls here, the youth of today, for their immense courage and patience that they have shown in the past 1.5 years during the pandemic phase. We all know it was not at all easy for them to detach from their family members, friends, relatives, to detach from the school and its surroundings, from various physical activities amidst pain and agony. These children have kept themselves busy and engaged in various virtual activities by taking part in various activities, and of course, MUNs being one of them. This is really praiseworthy. Today we have with us students from various institutions around the world to express their views, to deliver the knowledge, and to share the ideas from a diverse set of experiences and backgrounds. Here we have the executive board, the international press, and the delegates consolidated to learn many new aspects like diplomacy, international relations, foreign policies. I therefore would not address them as delegates representing various countries, but rather I would address them as global citizens who will be discussing, debating, and deliberating upon various global issues and also coming up with real solutions. So I wish you all the best. Delegates, you have a wonderful team of the most experienced executive board members in your respective committees. Please make the best use of this opportunity to enrich and enhance your knowledge and your debating skills. After all, that is why MUNs are unique, because you may not belong to the country allotted to you. You may not be the citizen of the country allotted to you, but you represent that country as if you belong there. You fight for them, you solve conflicts, you find solutions for the grievances. That is what MUN is all about. So all the very best, and I'm sure you will enjoy this conference. Thank you.
We are truly grateful to you, ma'am, for being a constant support to us. I would now like to hand over the proceedings to the person without whom our MUN club would not have been able to live on. the senior whom I've looked up to for being the exceptional manner and debater that she is. She inspires us to do our best each time and provides unparalleled guidance. Filling in the position that she most deserves, we now have with us Anushka Gautam, the Secretary General for LMGMUN 2021.
Thank you so much, Isha, for that lovely introduction. With great pleasure, I welcome you all to the first ever online edition of Martiniere Girls College Model United Nations Conference, or as we like to informally refer to it, LMGMUN, a conference that has significantly impacted all those who have been involved with it since its inception in 2014. I personally believe that I will not be able to offer words as wise as those who have spoken before me, as they are much more established and erudite than I could ever even dream of being. But what I do think and believe is that I can offer you a personal and informal perspective on the conference as a whole, since I have been involved in it for the past 4 years, both as a member of Secretariat as well as a delegate. I must assume know what Model United Nations conferences are, or at least have experienced being part of one to some extent. So as a delegate, you must be wondering what sets LMGMUN apart from the conferences that are organized nationally and internationally. At LMGMUN, we teach delegates not only how to speak diplomatically and courteously in a formal sitting, but we also inculcate in you the art of negotiation, which proves to be an asset in both the real life as well as the committee in which you're a delegate. But I would like to add something on to this and say that these are not the forces which drive LMGMUN and which encourage us to make LMGMUN bigger and better and bolder every year. At the heart of LMGMUN lies our desire to ingrain in the future generations the qualities of sensitivity, empathy, and awareness. 5.2 million people have lost their lives due to the onslaught of the pandemic. Health infrastructures all across the globe have collapsed. A terrorist organization in 2021 was able to overthrow a liberal democratic government. And now we have increased natural disasters because of the rapid climate change. Thus, we at LMGMUN believe that the need of the hour is to ensure that the future generations have in them inculcated the qualities of sympathy, awareness, as well as empathy. We here at Martiniere believe that future leaders are those who are truly able to empathize with the suffering of the people worldwide, regardless of their color, their nationality, their sexuality, their race, and their caste and creed. At Martiniere train our future leaders. We train them by ensuring that they understand how valuable the potential in them is. We train them by ensuring that they understand the responsibility they will have to fulfill in the future. The delegates at Martiniere Girls College Model United Nations receive skills that help them be better people and not just better leaders. They learn how to make decisions in the ever-changing environment of the world by understanding how active dialogue works, by learning and mastering the art of peaceful negotiations and cooperation. But the most essential quality that we inculcate in the delegates is the quality of collaboration and teamwork. We make sure that the delegates actively realize how important collaboration is and how necessary it is in the future for us to choose in the future collaboration over competition. Delegates, the conference that we're about to experience for the next 3 days is a marvel composed of days and nights of hard work. It is also composed of sweat and happy tears. And it is also composed of increased screen time from phones and laptops and never-ending video calls and extremely long emails. So we as a secretariat are going to make sure that you don't leave this conference without being better people. You don't leave this conference without learning something which will be useful to you 20 years down the lane. I would like to express my gratitude of thanks to our Honorable Lady Principal, Mrs. A. Das, as well as our faculty advisor, Mrs. Ambali. And conviction, this conference wouldn't have taken the shape that it has today. Now I would like to talk about what I personally believe is the backbone of this entire conference. Or maybe not one backbone. You can say that we have 3 backbones here. We have the secretariat, we have the international press, and we have a set of most hardworking girls that I've ever seen in my life, the technical team. It is important to understand the fact that all the effort that has been put into this conference is going to be utilized by you all. Our potential as members of Secretariat, as members of International Press, as members of technical team are going to be utilized by you as delegates. Because the committees that we've come up with, the agendas that we've thoroughly researched on, we want them to bring an improvement into your academic life. When you leave this conference, we want you to be able to confidently orate, express your views in a public forum, and possibly not feel anxious when you're asked to go up on stage. Delegates, it's extremely unfortunate and saddening that I'm not able to see you all live here and we're not able to host you in the magnificent portals of our historical building of Khurshid Manzil. But we, as the organizers of this conference, promise you the fact that you are going to have the same thrilling and exciting experience virtually as you would have had if this was a physical conference. With this, I would like to end my address. This conference holds a piece very dear in my heart, and I hope you have the same enriching and fulfilling experience that I have had over the past 4 years. Thank you so much. I would now like to call the girls who have worked day and night to make this conference the success that it is today. These girls have never shied away from taking responsibility despite their hectic academic schedules, and they have always stood victorious in front of the ever-facing challenges that we encountered. As we ventured into the first online session of LMGMUN, I would like to present before you the girls who have made it the reality that it is today. Presenting you the Secretariat of LMGMUN 2021, we have the Deputy Secretary General, Isha Zahir, the Secretariat members mentioned in an alphabetical order: Ayin Zehra, Anurajita Mishra, Katyayani Joshi, Meenal Khurana, Sanvi Ganguly, and Shubhi Negi. Ladies and gentlemen, here you have the Secretariat for LMGMUN 2021. Set of girls who, with their creativity and intelligence, brought to life the ideas of the spectator. The press release of the Martiniere Girls Model United Nations Conference 2021, which is highly anticipated by every single member of the conference. I present to you the international press of the Martiniere Girls Model United Nations Conference 2021. Head of International Press, Vanya Sheel. Editors-in-Chief, Tulika Gurnani and Riddhi Rohtagi. Editors of the International Press, Almaz Fatima Bakri and Esther Tiru. Ladies and gentlemen, here you have the international press for LMGMUN 2021. MUN believe that ideas come to life only when they're visualized. As you can see by the annual videos that our conferences have. We also believe that pictures convey more than words ever could. And we this year had entrusted the responsibility of the graphics in the 3 graphic designers of the college. Presenting to you the graphic designers of the Martiniere Girls Model United Nations Conference 2021. Head of Graphic Designing, Navya Agrawal. Sub-heads of Graphic Designing, Priyanshi Mehrotra and Varnika Singh. Ladies and gentlemen, before you can see the members of the graphic designing team who have brought to life all the creative ideas and visions that the Secretariat had for the conference. Was to research and deliberate upon the agendas and the committees that we would like to simulate at LMGMUN this year. We have a history of simulating the most enthralling committees with unique yet pressing agendas of global relevance. And I'm proud to say that we were able to reach the bar set by the people before us. We are highly obliged and grateful to our esteemed executive board members who agreed to chair the various committees being simulated at the conference this year. We are sure that with their vast experience of MUNs and their political awareness and guidance, the delegates are going to have an academically fulfilling and enriching experience like no other. Presenting to you the committees that are being simulated at the Martiniere Girls College Model United Nations Conference 2021.
Committee 1, International Maritime Organization, Chairperson, Mr. Ashish Kumar.
Vice Chairperson, Mr. Ishan Bajaj. The second committee being simulated at LMGMUN this year is the United Nations Security Council, Chairperson, Mr. Vedansh Tandon, and Vice Chairperson, Mr. Swaraj Tiwari. The third committee that we are simulating this year and are most excited for, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. The chairperson is Mr. Rahul Menon. The vice chairperson is Ms. Ishpreet Singh Luthra. and the director of the committee is Mr. Abhyankar Shukla. The fourth committee being simulated at La Martiniere Girls Model United Nations Conference, and the one that I personally believe is the most unique in nature, is the Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. The chairperson of this committee is Ms. Garima Rajpal. The vice chairperson is Ms. Asmita Sood. Then the director of this committee is Mr. Om Gupta. The fifth committee that is being simulated at LMGMUN is the World Trade Organization. The chairperson of the committee is Ms. Lavisha Jindal, and the co-chairperson of this committee is Mr. Hardik Agrawal. The last committees that are being simulated at LMGMUN are trademarks of a conference and are the committees that are most enjoyed by the delegates. The Joint Crisis Committee 1 being chaired by Mr. Siddharth Bedi and being vice chaired by Mr. Pranay Roy, and the Joint Crisis Committee 2 being chaired by Mr. Raghav Vadwa, and the vice chairperson of which is Mr. Aryan Dhawan. These are the committees that are being simulated at LMGMUN, and we believe that the delegates will find the deliberations and the discourse that are being done in this committee fulfilling, both academically as well as catering to their interests and making sure that they learn something valuable when they go back home. With this, I, in the capacity of Secretary General, would like to declare La Martiniere Girls Model United Nations Conference 2021 open.